Alright guys, so one of the questions I get often is people say to me, why do you eat a vegan diet? And people message me or ask me personally. So they ask, why don't you eat meat? Why don't you eat cheese and eggs and milk and all that stuff? And I always answer people because I have never performed better in my life when it comes to running, jump training, weights, plyometrics, anything, you name it. I'm at the peak, I know I'm getting better, but I am at peak physical performance, the best I've ever been in my entire life right now. I'm able to do, I did my first half marathon recently with a great time. I'm looking to do a full marathon really soon. And eventually I'm gonna get into ultra marathons on a vegan-based diet. And all of this stuff happened because that diet that I now have incorporated into my life every day gives me so much freaking energy. I've never felt this level of energy and consistent energy in my entire life. And it's taken a lot of tweaks and a lot of changes. And so for me, it all started when I decided to do a cleanse. It was a 30-day cleanse, so I wasn't looking to go vegan at all. I went on this cleanse, and being a vegan was a part of that thing. And at the end of the 30 days, I looked at my health and I looked at the way I felt about myself. I felt great. And so I decided to take that vegan diet and incorporate it into the training that I was already doing, which was pretty intense, and see what kind of results I could get training the same way that I had been training for the past 2 years, but just swapping out my diet basically. And within a few short weeks, I would say 2, I saw physically I was looking different, better, really quick. And then within like 3 to 4 weeks, I was feeling through the roof, energy, flexibility, everything was amazing. And so when people say, why are you vegan? And I say that's why it is. And kind of, I guess, selfishly, it's not for reasons that I initially got started because it's good for the planet, it's good for the animals and all that kinds of stuff, and it's good for pollution. I initially started it to see the performance that I was getting from gains, and what it has become is this like whole different lifestyle. And if you're already doing this and you're vegan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it kind of just like sort of, I don't want to say takes over your life, but you feel very compelled to continue what you're doing because the results that you're feeling and seeing are so amazing. So why do I think that this works so well? Well, from being vegan for 2 years, here is what I believe. A lot of the foods that I eat are alkaline. I don't, eat a lot of acid foods. When you're looking at foods like meats especially, like you're eating a big chunk of steak or you're eating a big chicken breast or whatever, those foods are very acid forming. It's hard for your body to break them down. When you're eating a vegan-based diet or a raw diet, even like a fruitarian, it's very, very easy for your body to break down and assimilate that food, which leads to what? If your body is producing less acid, it's producing more of an alkaline state, you can recover quicker. So if you're an athlete or you're somebody who's very active, you're going to be able to cover really, really quick. So once you finish your workouts, I've noticed that I can do now, let's say a 13-mile run, like a half marathon type run at a decent pace, and finish that one off, come back, and then work out again in the evening doing weights for like 45 minutes and abs. And then work out the next day, work out 6 days a week. My recovery time is like super, super fast. Never was like that before, my friends. It took me swapping out my diet before I started seeing results like that. And so I believe that that's the biggest changes is my performance compared to someone who is on, a diet where they're eating high levels of protein from meat, or else they're eating processed foods, or else they're eating dairy and milk and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff is acid forming. Actually, mostly all of it is acid forming. So when you eat things like, watermelon, which is a high level of water content, it's alkaline forming. You're putting lemon inside your water, which is alkaline forming. You're eating dark leafy greens. You're eating fruits. You're eating quinoa and grains and nuts. All that stuff is really, really good for you. And you obviously don't want to eat strictly alkaline. You want to put some acid in there. And so, I would have a bowl of oatmeal or something like that, which is acid. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, I truly believe that this diet can work for everyone, but I don't recommend it to everyone. And here's why. a lot of people say that, you know, you should eat a vegan diet, you should be a vegetarian, you should be a fruitarian, you should go out and follow the Ayurvedic diet. Yes, every single diet out there can work well depending on you. So just because eating vegan works well for me doesn't mean it's gonna work well for you, you know what I mean? I think you've gotta be very, very aware of how your body responds to food. And so people say to me, well, I'm gonna go vegan because you're doing it and I want to try it. The truth is, I never followed anyone that was already a vegan. I didn't start that journey because someone else was doing it. I just did it because I saw results myself. So I was doing it, you know, to test for myself. But is that going to work for you? Well, I personally know people that have tried it for a little while, like a few weeks, you know, maybe a month or two, and they just couldn't get it down. They couldn't get the feeling right. Now, whether or not they didn't stick with it long enough, or else their mindset was in a different place, it's hard to say, but they said they needed to eat meat. And, you know, I'm all for that. If that person has to eat meat and they perform better off of a protein source that's an animal, go for it. You know, I'm all for that. I think all of our bodies are unique. I think all of our bodies are different. I think they react different to foods. And so I'm all about testing. I tested the fruitarian diet for about 4 weeks. I didn't feel I performed very well off of it. I feel I perform better off of a vegan-based diet. And so that's why I say to people, test. You know, test and see what kind of results that you can get for yourself. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, do I recommend a vegan diet? Yes, I do. I recommend that you test it for yourself. If you can get results like I have for myself, awesome. And if you can't, then, you know, look to mix things up a little bit and test some other diets, right? So we've got a lot of cool recipes here on Dirty Runners. Above us, you will see the link to the vegan and vegetarian recipes. You can find all kinds of stuff there. We do workouts all on plant-based foods. So, you know, if you're on the site right now, go ahead and click above. And if you're not, then go back to dirtyrunners.com. We update this blog like 5 days a week, sometimes more. So we've got an awesome community. It's growing strong. We're pretty new too. We just kicked off about a month ago. So we got a great community of people to help you out, and I want to hear about your success. So if you have had any success with any recent vegan diet, or you're looking to get started with a vegan diet, comment in the box below on the site, and you know, we'll throw around some questions and help you out and give you some answers. Other than that, my friends, this is Ryan. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will speak to you very soon.